Anthony Albanese swore in his full ministry today. It's always a landmark occasion for the country, and especially, of course, for those directly involved. It's usually the realisation of a lifelong aspiration, and of course it gives them a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to achieve something really meaningful for their country. In the last government, the country had its first Indigenous Minister for Indigenous Affairs in Ken Wyatt, and now he's been succeeded by another Indigenous politician, Linda Burney.
I, Linda Jean Burney, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will well and truly serve the Commonwealth of Australia, her land and her people in the office of Minister for Indigenous Australia.
Burney's got a tough job ahead of her, with the promise of an Indigenous voice on the table along with constitutional recognition. But what about Richard Marles? 2 weeks ago, he was humiliated over revelations about secret meetings with the Communist Chinese leadership. Now he's sworn in not only as Deputy Prime Minister, but as Defence Minister. But have a listen to this exchange and you'll see he needs to make a bit of an adjustment.
Peter Dutton took a hard line against China. Will you do the same?
We saw a lot of chest beating on the part of the former government. They were pretty good at their rhetoric, but in terms of what they actually did, managing the hard power equation, they were a complete failure. And so we're going to be focused much more on the doing than the saying.
Wrong answer there, Defence Minister. You're no longer an opposition spokesman trying to damage the government. You are a key player in the nation's diplomacy. And accusing your own country of chest beating, well, that's what Beijing will want to hear. And promising you'll be less robust, that's also what Beijing will want to hear. Marles should have defended the previous government's handling of China and promised to continue it. Look, it's not a huge issue on his first day, I suppose, but it does highlight how some of these guys will take a while to comprehend the powers and responsibilities of incumbency. The terrific performance of Jason CLARE during the campaign was rewarded with his cherished education portfolio, something he celebrated on air on Sky News this afternoon with his son running into the interview. But the loser in that move was former Deputy Labor leader and former education spokesperson Tanya PLIBERSEK. A potential leadership rival to Albanese from the same faction and the neighbouring electorate, PLIBERSEK has been demoted and sent bush to cover environment and water. No doubt she'll be picking up some R.M. Williams boots and a Dryzerbone any day now. And another interesting little aside was the appointment of Sydney MP Matt Thistlethwaite.
In the offices of Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Defence and Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Veterans Affairs and Parliamentary Secretary to the Attorney General.
Ah yes, Assistant Minister to the Attorney General, but not uttered there, also Assistant Minister for the Republic. Which Republic, you might ask? Well, the one that Labor and many of us across this land want Australia to become. But the Albanese government tells us it's in no hurry. You think an Indigenous voice is hard? Wait till they try to define the right model for the Republic.